In this video, I'm bringing you 5 DIY gift ideas that were not only inexpensive but so easy to put together. So I'm hoping this video will bring you a ton of inspiration so you can make some last minute projects and get completely finished with all of your Christmas shopping. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a really fun video for you all. I'm actually bringing you some cute gift ideas that you can DIY yourself using some of my favorite crafting tools. I also would like to thank Chandler Tool because they are kindly sponsoring today's video. If you have been following me any at all, you know that I am in love with my pink glue gun by Chandler Tool. I have been crafting for over 10 years, which feels like forever, and this is by far my favorite hot glue gun. These glue guns have a unique stand-up base that is removable, which keeps it up off of my workspace, which is so nice. And all of these glue guns are lightweight and durable, but I think my favorite part is just how well it puts out the glue and does not drip. I have owned dozens of glue guns over all of these years of crafting, and this is the one that I've had the longest. I've owned this for almost a year and I'm still in love with it. Chandler Tool was actually kind enough to give me some of their other crafting tools. They sent me the 120 volt glue gun, which gets really hot. It has an on and off switch, which is so nice. And then they also sent me the mini glue gun, which is perfect for traveling, going to all of my crafting parties, as well as for smaller projects that you need more of a precise tip. And then I just recently got the pink heat gun, which I love my pink hot glue gun, and I'm so happy that it matches. But I love that heat gun because I've just been using my hair dryer beforehand and it doesn't even compare. Like, I can dry paint in like 3 to 5 seconds using my heat gun, and it has completely changed the game of how I've been crafting. This heat gun actually has a high and low setting, which is perfect, especially if you're working on smaller detailed artworks that you're trying to be super careful with. Chandler Tool also offers a lifetime warranty and honestly backs it up, so you can feel so safe with purchasing any of these products. If you are interested in purchasing any of these craft tools that I will be using today, I will leave a link in the description, which is directly under this video. And make sure you use the coupon code KatelynCraft, and craft is with a K, so it's KatelynCraft to receive 20% off. All of these products are available on Amazon, and don't forget to use the code KatelynCraft with a K, KatelynCraft, to receive 20% off of these products. The coupon code is only good for 2 weeks, so you don't want to miss out, and you can pick up yourself some of these awesome crafting tools that I love using every day, as well as pick up some for your crafty friends, because these would make the perfect Christmas gifts. So seriously, go check out all of these products. They are definitely some of my favorite crafting tools that I've ever used, and I highly recommend them. Now let's jump on into today's Christmas gift DIYs. Because I put so much thought into each and every one of them, I wanted it to be honestly gifts that I would love receiving and gifts that you could personalize to give to your friends and family. So let's jump on into the video. For this first DIY, I'm going to be making a photo lantern that can be customized any way to fit the person that you're going to be gifting this to. So for today's projects, on all of them, I'm going to be using some older Christmas photos. These were taken last year, but just because we haven't taken any new Christmas photos, so I'm just going to show you how I display all of these. So for this first project, I'm going to be using 6 of these 4x6 photo frames. I start by taking 4 of them and just going ahead and removing everything, and then on the last 2 I go ahead and remove everything from the front, and then I have to take them apart, and it takes 2 of those because I only end up using the short ends. And then on everything I take a pair of little pliers and just start by removing all of those little metal tabs. I looked for white frames so that I wouldn't have to do so many coats on these to cover up the black, because I wanted a white lantern, but my Dollar Tree was out, so I'm taking some of my white chalk paint, and it did take a few coats, so I do recommend spray painting these if you do have that option. after my 2 coats of white paint had dried, I replaced the glass, and then using my high temp glue gun, this is the 120 volt, which is perfect to use on projects like this because I really want these to stay in there, and this has like a precise tip on it, so I'm easily able to get down inside the corners. So I put the glass in there and just tack it down with the hot glue in the corners because I'm not going to be putting a back on these, so they're just going to have to stand there, and I didn't want this glass to fall out. I also wanted to add the little mat back in just because my pictures weren't printed large enough, so they fit perfectly inside of this little mat. I meant to get 4x6 frames, and then you can see that after you take the mat out, they're actually 5x7, so it made a really large lantern, but I ended up loving it in the end. For my photos, I just printed these out myself off of my computer with a regular printer on regular printer paper, and I wanted to do this a unique way, so I ended up kind of cutting around our heads so that the light can shine through the top, and I think this turned out really pretty. I really like the effect of it, and I didn't go too crazy. I just started about halfway up, and I didn't get too close to their hair, so we didn't look like we had weird shaped heads. I laid these photos in there and just kind of kept looking how I wanted to lay these and tack them down with some clear tape. And then of course the mat is just kind of freestanding there, so I take a little bit more of my hot glue and kind of tack that in place in the corners.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe. And I've gotten you a present that I put under the tree. Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for you and me. The snow is falling down.
This is why I really wanted to use the 120 volt glue gun on this project, because I know sometimes gluing these frames together, they just want to pop off if your glue gun is not hot enough, and this held it together perfectly. I was able to handle it a lot after I had even got it put together, and nothing was breaking off, and everything seemed to be holding together really nicely. So I go ahead and just apply this to the edges and then press it together, and you can see that I do kind of put them on opposite sides. So I glued one frame to the side of a frame and then the other frame to the back side of it, so it made more of like a square shape.
The storm is on its way, but as long as you're around, everything will be okay. 'Cause all I wanna do is spend.
And then these are the short pieces I took off of 2 frames because you will get 2 short pieces and 2 long pieces. So I just took 2 short pieces from each frame. So I hope that makes sense. But I ended up gluing 2 of them together so it would make a little peak at the top, and that would kind of be my base. I couldn't get the top perfectly flush together, but I'm going to be covering all of that over with some greenery and a bow, so it really didn't matter. And I was really going to hot glue everything down nice and tightly so it's not going to be removable and no one will ever know. But I go ahead and use the other 2 the same way. I just glue them down to the top edge of the frames as well as into the center.
Tomorrow it is Christmas, the first for me and you. I've longed for this moment.
Now you can just add your choice of greenery. I have these little sparkly boxwood floral picks. I went ahead and just pulled off each little individual stem and then I glued them individually on top of here just so I had more control of where everything was going. I loved how they kind of just dangled off in every direction, and then I went ahead and did a couple more layers so this looks really full. And of course, this would not be a Krafts by Katelyn video if we didn't add a burlap bow. So to make this super simple bow, I just loop it over a couple times. I'm going to tie that in the center with a piece of jute string or jute twine, call it whatever you would like, and then I add another piece for the tails. I had already cut the little corners in the tails to give it a little dressed up look, and then I tie that again. Sometimes you can just go ahead and tie that in the first time that you tie the bow, but sometimes I don't know if I'm going to add the little tails or not, but I thought they would be really cute hanging down. I go ahead and fluff this up and then glue it directly on the top. After I got it all put together, I realized I never distress this, and I do that to everything. I always love rustic farmhouse, so I'm taking a little bit of my gray color chalk paint, and on a tiny little brush, I'm just kind of dry brushing it a little bit here and there. I am so happy that I did this. I think it just softens up the look a little bit, makes it look a little bit more rustic, and it goes with our black and white photos a lot better. I know this has a lot of steps, but it was very simple to put together. The only thing that I would recommend is spray painting your frames white instead of using the chalk paint, because I had to use several layers. I add in this pillar candle that I had picked up from Kohl's last year for Christmas, but you can use a Dollar Tree candle if you would like, and it just puts off a beautiful little glow behind those photos that I think is beautiful, and I think anyone would be so surprised to receive this gift, especially if these photos were customized to be special moments that they would love to display.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean.
The next project that I have for you are these DIY photo magnets that I think turned out so cute to make for $1. So I picked up some of these clear rocks from Dollar Tree. These are wide enough to put a photo behind. And then I did have to run to Walmart and pick up some of these little magnetic buttons. And then I got on Word and made a little circle that was like 1.25 inches. And I put it over the top of all of my kids' faces in these photos and kind of sized them down, so I knew that they would fit inside of this rock. So you might want to measure the ones that you got. And I recommend picking up a couple of bags of these. So spend $2 on this craft, because after I got home there were several that had imperfections on the back that kind of made their face look a little blurry that I didn't like, but some of them are perfect and they just have more of a perfectly clear finish where there's no imperfections on the bottom and your photo shows up a lot nicer. So I'm going to put those over the top of there and just trace around it, cut my little circle off, and it will leave the perfect little size for these rocks.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you so I'm letting go of.
Although I am loving these photos and think they are so cute to Mod Podge on the back of these rocks, I also think it would be such a great idea to add little inspirational quotes. You could use little letter stickers to add people's initials, or special years or special dates on these rocks. So possibilities are endless, but I think these little photos turned out so cute. I was a little bit happy with the Mod Podge today. I'm not sure what was going on. I kept adding so much of it. It honestly does not take near that much, and you'll see that in later on projects as well. So don't copy this part. Don't add so much Mod Podge because it does take a lot longer for these to dry.
These are the good times with you. Baby, this year it's just gonna be you and me.
Before these dry, I took a little wet wipe and kind of wiped off the front just to make sure that none of the Mod Podge was drying on the front, because I do want these to be as clear as possible. So to speed up the drying time, I'm using my heat gun. Like I say, I have been loving this new tool. I've used it for about a week now on projects, and it will like instantly dry paint, so I love it for that. And the Mod Podge does take a little bit longer to dry, which is expected. It does take usually a long time, but I like applying heat because it seems to get the wrinkles out a lot better for me. So then the last thing to do is just glue on these little magnetic buttons, and then these will be ready to hang on the fridge.
By the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be?
After using my full-size hot glue gun on every project and then going down to this for small little projects, I can see why I miss using a mini glue gun sometimes. This just put out the perfect amount for this little project because these magnets didn't need a ton of hot glue to stay on.
And I've been longing to hold you close, forget about everyone else. Isn't this how
I'm trying to show you up close how precious these are. I know these are my kids, so I think they're cute, but up close, these little magnets look so beautiful. I think it is so pretty, and even though these are tiny little pictures, these rocks just magnify them and make them look really nice and easy to see. So I wanted to show you really quick. I know I already made the DIY, but I wanted to show you how I would gift these to a friend or family. Dollar Tree has these little gift card boxes that are the perfect size, and I'm just adding some of this little, it's called decorative shred, but this little colorful paper that they sell for packaging gifts, and I set the little magnets down in there, and I think that is beautiful. So literally for $1, or I suggested you to buy 2 bags of the rocks, so for $2 or less, you could make this cute little set of magnets, which would also be the perfect stocking stuffer for someone that you still need something extra special for.
Making our Christmas memories. Yes, these are the good times with you. Don't even care what we do if I spend it with you. Just you and nobody else. It's so good to see you again.
The next gift idea I am bringing you is this little DIY personalized trivet. So I saw this on Kelly Barlow's channel and I loved it, and I wanted to try one for myself. But then whenever I thought of making a gift DIY video, I had to throw this in there because I know so many of you all would love to see this. So it is so simple. I'm using a Dollar Tree little trivet, some cheap scrapbooking paper, and then just a photo that I printed off, and I was showing you that I cropped down the sides so it's not as long, and I made it a little bit taller because the trivet is more square. I wanted the photo to be a little bit more square than super long. So I thought it still needed a little bit of pop off of that paper. It looked really plain, so I ended up using a little piece of this faux burlap paper, and I put it on the background, and I think it looks so much more like a scrapbook page or something. I think it looks really cute. So the first thing I do is remove the plastic, and that got rid of the label, and then to remove these little sticky pieces that hold it up off of the table, I'm using a little knife that easily scraped it off and got these off of there.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me with a smile as quirky as mine.
I glued the photo down to the burlap piece and then tried to lay them all down together so I could kind of see what it was looking like. If you took the time, you could add little stickers to write family or your last name. You could really dress this up nicely. I'm also going to be gluing this down onto the wood piece so that I can cut around it.
Keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend this day with you.
Okay, so here is where it got bad, and to be honest, I ended up remaking this project. I used the same photo and same style scrapbooking paper. I applied Mod Podge to the trivet, and that should have been good enough. I should have just went ahead and laid my photo down on there, but like I say, I don't know what was going on. I just added way too much Mod Podge to everything this day. So I added a ton of it to my photo, and it like never dried. It just stayed wet and goopy for so long. No matter how long I tried to dry it or use my heat gun or stick it outside, it just stayed really wet inside. I think the edges dried and kind of sealed it off, and then the glue that was stuck in the center just stayed there. So no matter how much that I tried to push out all of that excess Mod Podge, you can see that I just added way too much. So I did end up remaking it just to that part, because you can see how much of it was just puddled up on top of those photos, and you don't even need a third of that amount, if a fourth. But like I say, so I did remake it to this point, and it did turn out a lot better. But here I am just showing you how you can dry it. I like to apply heat when using Mod Podge. It does seem like it gets out the wrinkles. And then I did end up using another coat of Mod Podge on the back, because I wanted to protect the back just in case there is like spills or anything gets under this.
Let me give you a Christmas, a moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe's baby with you.
Using my little Chandler tool mini hot glue gun again, I'm just going to apply back those little sticky things that hold it up off of the table, and then set it back down. So here you go, you can see it's still not drying, and this is the finished one that I'm remade, and I'm so happy I did, because the other one still has the Mod Podge setting in there, and it probably will for years to come. But I love how this turned out. I think this would be an awesome gift, and like I say, I got this idea from Kelly Barlow. I'll link her video down below, but I thought it was awesome, and I just had to share it with you all. For the next project, I wanted to come up with a cute way to give someone a photo frame that they could easily interchange the photos using some Dollar Tree products. So the first thing I'm using is one of these Christmas Dollar Tree tags, as well as one of these 4x6 photo frames that just have the clip that you can easily change the photo, and then just a variety of scrapbooking paper. I wanted this faux wood scrapbook paper to be the background, so I'm going to go ahead and trace my tag on there and then Mod Podge that down.
Did you ever stop and think, why spend too much time just getting ready? Let me be honest, I don't know a single thing that I haven't done to make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around.
After my first layer underneath of Mod Podge was dry, I went ahead and applied some over the top just to make sure everything was going to be nice and sealed in. And then I'm using my Chandler tool heat gun again to get all of those wrinkles out and dry this a little bit faster. To remove the excess paper from the edges, I'm taking a piece of sandpaper and just kind of pulling it over the edge, and this will just kind of peel it off, and then I'll have much more of a smoother edge than if I tried to cut this with scissors. So to add the little photo frame, I'm going to go ahead and remove the back because I want to get rid of those black and white stripes, and I end up painting this with my mineral colored chalk paint. Okay, so I just noticed this is the steel gray color chalk paint. This is not mineral, but they're so close it wouldn't matter. But the beige mineral is a little bit more of a beige brown color, and then this is just like the cooler gray tone in the steel color chalk paint. I love both of these colors and use them often, and I remember whenever I was filming this I accidentally switched the lids, so that's why I was so confused on what I used. But it took a few coats of this to cover up all of those harsh black and white lines, and then you can see that still the texture of it does shine through a little bit, but it still kind of gives it a cool effect. I add in a jute string hanger by poking the hole through the scrapbooking paper and then inserting the little string, and then I go ahead and hot glue down my bow.
You don't have to. There's so much that I'm still keeping to myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe. But still you got me missing.
I was going more for like a personalized look, so I get out the first letter of the last name of the person I wanted to gift this to, and then I'm going to paint it with some black paint and then just make it dangle underneath the bow. I clipped back in the little 4x6 proof that was in there just so they could kind of tell what it was, and it made it look a little bit more put together. I think that's a really cute idea to put that back in there, but I do switch it out with a Christmas card before I gift it. I think this come together really cute. It is a unique piece that is so cute you can make for yourself or definitely for your friends or family this Christmas season. Next up is this cute little dry erase board. This would be perfect for a preteen or teen as well as an adult, because I think this would be something cute they could keep on their desk and write on all the time and keep wiping off the little notes and adding new notes. So I had some leftover picture frames. These are 5x7s that have a mat in them to go down to a 4x6. I get confused a lot whenever I am buying them, and then I get home and I realize the frame is a lot larger. But I took a piece of just lined school paper out of a notebook, and I just cut that down to size. I replaced my glass and then put the little note paper in there and then filled the back in, and then that's how simple this was. And then you can just decorate this. I made a very simple little bow using this thin burlap ribbon. I think this came from Dollar General, and I tie it in the center with a piece of jute string and then just hot glue that to the top. I think it would be cute if you wanted to take your dry erase marker and kind of make it dangle with a piece of your jute string, like how some people do if you are making like a chalkboard and you dangle down your piece of chalk. So the next thing I'm going to be using is some of these small letters. I'm pretty sure these just came from Walmart, and I picked out the word notes, and I originally thought that I would add this to the side, but I ended up painting them black and then adding them to the top of this piece of paper, and I thought that looked a lot better. I was so confused looking for the N because I just expected it to be capital like all of the other letters, and I just looked for it forever. I cut it off camera because it was taking so long, But anyways, I found this little end, which I think it is cute. It makes it look a little bit whimsical. And then using my mini hot glue gun, which thank goodness I had this because this is perfect to add on these tiny little letters. I just glued these to the top, and I think this looks so much cuter than adding them to the side. And then you can just write on there what you would like. It would also be cute whenever you are gifting this to go ahead and write a sweet little message on there. And this one really only costed a couple of dollars as well, but turned out so cute and would be such a perfect last minute DIY for all of those people that don't need anything, but you want to get something sweet and look like you tried. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I had a ton of fun putting together these gift DIYs that were so cheap and easily put together, but they come out really nice quality, and I think packaged just right, you're going to impress all of your friends and family with such beautiful DIYs. You could even make them a DIY and then give them a DIY tool. I think they would love it. So don't forget about those links down below. All of those products are available on Amazon, and if you use Katelyn Craft, don't forget to use the coupon code KatelynCraft to receive 20% off for your special discount. Thank you all again for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting! Bye!